Happy New Year, my friend. What's up? I'm excited for today's guest. We are going to get started. So let me know in the comments below. Hello, Amara Training. What is up? Let me know what you guys have planned. What's your main goal for 2023? I'm curious. I want to know. If it matters to you, if it's important to you, that's all that matters. We are going to speak about this will be really valuable live. It will be a freestyle talk around defining your dreams. What's up, bro?
Let's go, let's go. How we doing, brother?
Great. So, let me introduce you before we get started. So, guys, our guest today has been featured on Fox 4, ABC 7, HBO, and Yahoo Finance. He's the host of Define Dream podcast. He's a mentor who teaches people in 35 states in USA and 10 more countries. He teaches them to leverage technology to generate revenue and runs his own brand, Define Dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on the Pursuit of Freedom, the show, Dylan Fine. Welcome, brother.
Let's go, let's go. I love it, I love it. I appreciate the time. Nothing but love for you, Albert. I've been seeing the movement. I've been seeing the value you've been giving out. So I'm nothing but blessed and grateful to be on here with you, brother. Let's go ahead and dive in.
Yep. So, brother, it's the first time, guys, to be completely transparent. It's the first time we are speaking live. We've been chatting, but it's the first time we are speaking live. So, brother, tell me about your story. I want to know. I want to know you. Let's go.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Once again, I appreciate everybody taking the time, dive a little bit into the story. So for myself, I graduated college back in 2015. I was a D1 athlete, was playing basketball, and I was broke, busted, and disgusted, right? I was actually going through a period where I had no job. The last 6 months of college, I actually got an email saying I had to start paying back $33,000 worth of my loans. And all of my roommates that I was living with at the time were living a pretty disgusting lifestyle, right? Going out 8 days a week, drinking, partying all the time. And I got to a point where I realized I don't have a job. I got all these loans coming in. I got to figure out life. And I actually made the decision to go ahead and live out of my car the last 6 months, to go ahead and separate, to elevate. And it was kind of like Murphy's Law. I had one thing happen after the next. My girlfriend broke up with me after 2 years because she thought I was crazy, talking about being able to travel and impact lives. And I remember one night I was actually scrolling through Facebook and I saw an RIP. I saw like 16 RIPs, and I finally saw the tag, and it was actually my sister. Turns out my sister actually passed away from cancer at 28 years old. Oh. And it was a life-changing moment for me. I remember being so broke, I didn't even have money to be able to afford going to her funeral because she was in a different state. And it was heartbreaking. That's one of my biggest regrets of my life. But that was, at the same time, that's one of my biggest transition points. A lot of times they say sometimes your biggest setbacks end up leading to your greatest achievements. Well, that's essentially what happened to me. I realized I had a broken mindset, and that was the first thing I wanted to fix. Because I couldn't do anything with my head everywhere. I'm in my shell. I wanted to fix these 6 inches first. So I actually came across a book, and it was called The Monk That Sold His Ferrari. And I'll never forget
it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? No. This was my first book too, bro. Robin Sharma. Oh shit. Let's go. That's crazy. Oh man.
Go on. Right? So that was the beginning of my journey, really diving in to the monk mindset. And I understood there's two types of people, right? There's a person that chases a legacy, and there's somebody that chases the currency. The currency, that's great, but how many people show up to your funeral? 12, 15, it didn't excite you. But when you look at the legacy, that's something where your last name rings for decades, right? And the only way to really do that to impact your children's children's children is to truly care, is to truly want to give back, is to really have a passion for helping people. And I said, that's what I want, right? Because at the end of the day, service to many leads to greatness. So that's where my journey began. I got real big into personal development, reading. I wasn't much of a reader in school. I wasn't a person who used to, actually take the time to fill up notebooks and write down my gratitude every day.
Me too,
right? And I came across one guy by the name of Tony Robbins.
Oh, sh- we
Tony,
have a lot in common
Tony
in
Robbins,
some weird way.
right?
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it. The video was called The Last Dollar, and it was basically about, Tony. He's broke. He's going through a bunch of stuff over Christmas time, and he's got like $1,200 left, and he lends it to his friend because he doesn't have any money, and his friend's not
Yeah.
calling him back, and months go by, and he spends his last dollar going out to eat, and he's sitting at the table, and there's this beautiful little boy that comes in with this pretty lady, and the boy opens up the chair for this lady. She sits down, and he's just looking. He's like, wow, this boy just has presence. He has such a good heart.
Yeah.
And he gets up, and he's got like $20 left in his pocket, and he gets up and he pays for the meal. And the little boy says, you can't do that. He's like, yeah, I can because I'm bigger than you. And he just pays for the meal. And as pretty as the lady was, he just turned around and he walked out the door. And he said, I didn't walk home. I flew home. Because there was something inside me that just felt so powerful about being able to just give,
Yeah.
right? And he comes back home, and there's a letter in the mail, and this guy sends him the $1,200 plus some, for the time that he had been waiting. And it just went to show him that life is about giving. If you give when you don't have it, life will give you more than you can ever even imagine. And that was a turning
And
point.
if I'm not mistaken, he says after this story, because bro, I'm all over Tony Robbins. He says the secret of living is giving, right?
Yeah.
At the end of this story.
The secret of
Oh
living
my,
is giving.
yeah, I love it.
So
Oh man.
here's the crazy part, right? Here's where I started connecting the dots. So his name is Tony Robbins, but Anthony and Tony's interchangeable, right?
Yeah.
My name is Dylan Anthony Fine. So Dylan Anthony or Tony. My mother's first name is Robin. Her maiden name is Robinson. So I was like,
Okay.
Dylan Anthony Fine, Tony Anthony Robbins, Tony Robbins. Holy shit, I was named after one of the greatest to ever do it. And that was the beginning of my journey, where I started really realizing I'm not just here to just exist. I'm here to have my last name ring for decades.
That's amazing, bro. Oh my God. There's so much right here. So first of all, I'm sorry that I interrupted you, because the fact that you started your journey with the monk who sold his Ferrari is insane. Because me too, it's my journey started after a breakup, and the first thing I read was Robin Sharma's book. And to be again transparent, I thought that this was a real story, bro. I thought there was real monks in these. I don't remember the names, the exact name. Do you remember it? The name of the monks, like the group.
Not
That's
off
so
top
cool.
off the top of my head, no.
Yeah. Anyway. So tell us the importance of having clarity. Like your name is Define Dreams, right?
Yeah.
Let's say someone is watching this video. They are lost, just like they're broke mentally, financially, physically. What's the next step they can take to get this clarity and take action, like to get out of this dark place? What can they do?
100%. For me, I realized without a vision, the people perish, right? That's something that I really understood years ago, and that's why I got so intentional with really actually defining my dreams, right? Because getting out of college, I noticed most people have never taken the time to actually define their own dreams, right? Figure out what they really want, figure out what they're actually here to do, and at the end of the day, it's none of our faults, right? Most of us were programmed to, in America, we call it the American dream. This is what 97% of people know. Go to school, go to education, graduate college, get a job, start a family, pay bills, go to work every day and die. That's life. That's the American dream, what most people strive to do. And getting out of school, I realized we're built for so much more than that. We're abundant, right? We're spiritual beings living a human experience, right? So we're all, more abundant than we can ever imagine, but it takes being able to understand that. So for me, it took really getting around a mentor. Finding somebody that could honestly, and here's what a mentor does. They can actually most of the time see inside of yourself, maybe what you couldn't even see before. And that's what happens. I had somebody that could truly see what I couldn't see yet. And I began to define what my ideal life would look like because I'd never asked that question before. He asked me the game-changing question. He said, how much an hour do you believe that you're worth? And I sat there and I thought about it, and I was like, I don't know, $50? He said, try again. It's like, all right, 200. He said, go ahead and ask me that question. I said, all right. How much are you worth? And he said, there's no number. It's limitless. There's no number. You're worth $10,000, $100,000 an hour when you truly believe it. Family, there's 10-year-olds making $22 million doing tour reviews on YouTube right now.
What?
Right?
What? Say it again.
There's
10-year-olds
10-year-olds making $20 million doing tour reviews on YouTube right now.
Oh my God.
There's not a shortage of abundance. There's a shortage of limiting beliefs and limiting identities.
Yeah.
Right. So I believe for 2020, for anybody coming in, if you want to make this the most abundant year, yet, I tell all my students this. I believe this year, this can be the year when you step into the highest version of yourself. You can literally make in 1 year what you just made in the past decade of your life. I really believe that.
Oh.
Right. But here's how we're gonna do it. Right. And this is exactly what I did when I got started in entrepreneurship. Living out of my car, had no money, was broke, busted, and disgusted. This is what I did, okay? I defined my own dreams in pillars, right? If I were to ask you this question for 2023, what does your ideal body look like? What do your ideal relationships look like, right? What does your connection with your creator look like? What kind of value are you giving to society? How much time are you spending with your family? You see, I break life down into 6 pillars, and this is what I learned from my mentor. Your family, your mind, your body, your spirit, your finances, and society, the value that you give. And I believe if you can truly take the time to sit and evaluate where your energy is at for each one, and what does your ideal year look like for each one, now you're going to know maybe where you need to put a little bit more time into. You know what? My spiritual side, I've been slacking a little bit. I need to build a connection with my creator. You know what? My body, I haven't been eating right. I haven't been drinking alkaline. I need to go get on the gym the next 90 days. And now you can truly identify what your year looks like. I'll give you an example, right? For everybody on here, if you really want to have this year be the best year yet, you're going to have to take some time, and I strongly suggest doing it this month, to do the deep work, and here's what I mean by that. Write a congratulations letter to yourself. A congratulations letter as if you were reading this, December 31st of 2023, what does your ideal look like? Your ideal year. And I wrote this, my body, my finances, right? Being able to have my podcast in top 100 for business, being able to have impacted hundreds of thousands of lives, right? All of it is written before it happens. A vision happens 3 times. First in the mind, spiritually, you can't touch it.
Oh.
Second, it happens physically.
3 times.
The second, 3 times. Vision happens 3 times. First, spiritually, you can't touch it. It's intangible. You have the idea, You have the thought, right? Second, it happens physically. When you take that thought and you transmute that onto paper with pen and paper, you just pull the spiritual world into the physical. And now, third, now you're able to go ahead and see it in reality. Most people don't see their visions manifest because they skip number 2. They never wrote it down.
Oh, shit. So let's stop here. I know a quote which goes like, things are created twice, first in the mind and then in reality. I love how you've broken this down, like the spiritual world, then you write it down, like you see your thoughts, and then you take action. Like I've never, we do it, but I have never heard someone say it like you said it. So just for this was really good. Great. So let's start. I want to tap more into the power of scribbling. I've once heard that there's like a transfer of energy. Like if you're having bad thoughts, when you write them down, you transfer the energy onto the paper, and it's easier to solve the problem. What's your take on this? Like the power of really writing your thoughts down, your vision, whatever.
So, I believe energy is everything, right? At the end of the day, the laws of the universe, they talk about energy is never created nor destroyed, it's just transferred, right? So at the end of the day, when you're able to really start getting feelings on paper, and here's what I realized for most, right? And I'm really big on the deep work. Not being able to just understand something, but being able to understand something. That's a big difference, right? So
What that? Understand?
understand. Many understand, very few understand. Here's what I mean by that. For the past, literally, I'll show you right here. For the past 167 days, 167, I have literally taken the time to write down 10 things I'm blessed and grateful for. I've taken the time to journal, get my emotions on paper, and here's the truth, right? It's one thing to go ahead and write this. You can write your gratitude, you can write your blessings every day, but if you don't really have the feeling when you write it, if you don't actually feel that emotion, you're missing it. You're missing where the power is. This is why they say the secret is the feeling, right? So when you write your goals down, can you write your goals down and feel it as if the wish fulfilled has already happened, right? That's why at the end of all my journals, I say it's already done, because to have gratitude for something. If I were to give you this drink right now, what are you gonna say? Thank you, right?
Thank you.
Because it's already done. You have it already, right? So when I write down my goals, I'm so happy and grateful. You know, I'm whatever it is, I'm making $10,000 a month because I'm able to give back to my family. I'm able to go ahead and give back to those in need. So now I've defined it. Now I've put a because behind it, but now I can actually feel the emotion as if it's already happened.
Oh shit, that's deep, bro. And I want to add on this, on the power of visualization. Maybe you came across it. Harvard Science Center. They did an experiment with the piano. Have you heard about it? The piano experiment.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Here's how it goes. They choose two groups of people, right? They tell the first group, they gave them a short, or how do you call it, like the piano notes, give them this, and they told them to only visualize it. Do not practice physically, do not move your fingers. First group. The second group, they told them to actually practice physically, like really like we all do. And the third group did nothing, basically, like neutral. At the end of the experiment, the results they gave, obviously the group that did nothing, they get nothing. The group that has practiced, like physically practiced the piano, and the group that has only visualized, only in their mind, without moving their fingers, they got the same results, bro. That's how powerful visualization is. And I love that you have explained this beautifully, like feeling grateful in advance for what you already want. And this is really powerful.
I'll give you an example, right?
Now,
For those that have ever heard of Jim Carrey, right? Jim
oh,
Carrey, the famous movie actor.
yeah,
There's something that he did, and if you go on YouTube it, right? Go Google YouTube or Google Jim Carrey the magic check. And when he was broke, when he was struggling, he wrote himself a check for $10 million, already done, signed from the universe as if it's already done, and he ended up manifesting it after he made the movies Dumb, Dumb, and Dumber. But he created and wrote that check as if it's already done before it even happened, and held that wish fulfilled long enough until it manifested from the spiritual world physically. So I love that. It's powerful. It's absolutely true.
That's deep. And there's something I really wanted to ask you because, you know, it's easy. I mean, it's simple to say, okay, you have a thought, you write it down, and then you take action. But most of the time, when you get started, when you face your first hardships, like the first failures, most people tend to give up. So I want your take on failure. How can people deal with failure in the early phase of their journey?
100%. So at the end of the day, let's go ahead and look at the dictionary for a second, right?
Okay.
F
No.
comes before S for a reason, right? For most, it takes failing before we succeed. For anybody that you see that's successful, most of the time they had to suck before they saw success, right? Before you get the testimony, what's the first word in testimony? Test. So you've got to be able to go through the test to get to your testimony. So all of these different scenarios, it just goes to show, you know, every master was once a disaster. So anybody that you see that's great, they had to fall a couple times. They had to fail. They had to learn and grow as they go. So you're never going to be perfect at anything. Everybody's imperfectly perfect. But here's what I know. There's nothing that we can do consistently on a daily basis that we're not going to be able to grow and get better at. I don't care if that's focusing on your body. I don't care if that's focusing on speaking. I don't care if that's focusing on building your brand, building a relationship with your creator. Whatever area where focus goes, energy flows. So when you get intentional about what it is that you want, when you get intentional about who you are, when you get intentional about where you're going, now you start to align your priorities. And the things that you used to say yes to, now you realize that your time is too valuable to go ahead and let go of your energy. And now you start becoming not just busy, but you become productive. There's a big difference.
Oh my God. That's deep. Okay, this is flowing right now. So the next hurdle, I'm speaking from experience. I'm sure you've been through that, and I'm sure you guys watching this, when you start your journey, you will go through this. Like, I don't know if it's Jim Rohn or Tony Robbins. This is success leaves clues.
Yep.
We are giving you the clues for free. So I want to know your take on. Let me share this quote first. I've heard this on. It was an Instagram reel. The guy was saying, if you're lost, you need education. If you have education, you need execution. And when you start executing, what you need is consistency. And this is the hardest thing, because it's easy, quote unquote, it's easy to achieve a goal, but maintaining your level of success once you start achieving your goals, this is tough. I want your take on how to remain consistent with the goals that you set, the vision that you have written on paper.
I love it. So 2 words come to mind, right? It's going to take consistency to get to our goals, but it's going to take persistence to stay there and keep elevating, right? Many don't realize as we're on this journey, it's like climbing a mountain, okay? As we climb the mountain and we get to the top and think about your goal, whatever it is that we want to grab, there's always going to be a next higher piece of the mountain. Now we're at the bottom of the next mountain. So there's always going to be another level to grow. What got us here is not going to be able to get us there. So for anybody that doesn't know, if you look at water, right? Running water that's powerful enough can almost cut through anything. It can cut through rock, it can cut through steel. Why? Because of its consistency. There's mountains and valleys that are created through running consistent water.
Yes.
The same thing for your success. This is how your success is created. Your success is compounded day in and day out by your habits and your rituals. And it doesn't happen one night, but it does happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight, but it happens one night. With years of effort, with years of consistency, now you might wake up and you see this quantum leap. But it didn't just happen all of a sudden. It happened from all your little consistent efforts compounded over a period of time.
Okay. This brings me to my next question. You know, you're a human being. I am a human being. Before I go, someone is saying he can say you are on your iPad because the way the camera angle is changing. I don't know. Are you on your iPad?
No, I actually have I've got a little stand that I actually have on my store that moves with my body.
Okay.
So
it brings oh, that's even better. Oh my God. So King, what's his name? This is so cool. So Mr. King K official, this is technology. It's just following his motion. So before I forget my thoughts, the next part is this. We are human beings, but we are emotional or spiritual beings, whatever you want to call it. How do you motivate yourself? I don't like this word, but how do you force yourself to take action when you don't feel like it? Because it's important to remain consistent, regardless of how you feel. How can you train your mind to do that?
So I gave a whole YouTube training on this yesterday. If you guys want to go ahead and catch my YouTube, Define Dreams, you guys will be able to see the training. But here's what I was talking about, and this actually came from the Stoics. If I were to ask you this question, how much, if you were to draw a circle right now and you were to write inside of it, how much in your life are you in control of? and go ahead and write the things inside of that circle, and go ahead and give me an answer. Well, what's your guess? How much in life are we actually in control of?
Okay. Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I would say this thing right here. I'm in control of my brain, me, of how I interpret events. Yeah, that's
You
it.
got it. You got it on
Let's
the
go.
dot, right? Believe it or not, there's only one thing that you and I and everybody listening is actually in control of, and that's our mind. Everything else, we're not in control of. We're in a little bit of control in our body of what we eat, of what we drink, but guess what? We're still not even full control. God forbid, we could get in the car and somebody could be driving crazy and something could happen. So we're not even in full
Yeah,
control. So that just goes to prove, but we are in control of our mind. So with our mind, we're able to control our decisions. Are we gonna
yeah.
eat junk food today? Or are we gonna eat alkaline and whole food? Are we gonna hit the gym? Are we going to study? Are we going to journal? Are we going to meditate? Are we going to call a mentor? We have the ability to make these decisions in the mind that allow us to go ahead and take control of what we're able to control.
Oh my God. Okay. Now, now that we know that first greatness, I would say your dreams start with a thought, then you transfer this energy on paper so that you can see your vision. Then you set your goals. You must stay consistent so that you can achieve your goals. And when you feel bad, like you said, you focus on the things, and you just explained so beautifully. Focus on what is in your control, which is your brain. Then there's something, Dylan, that can accelerate this growth. And you mentioned it before. Please tell us what's the power of a mentor on your journey of personal development, business development, whatever.
1,000%, right? I want you guys to think about anybody that you idolize, anybody that you look up to, and I want to ask you the question: do you believe that they had a mentor? And when you do your research, you're going to find the answer is absolutely yes. I don't care who we're talking about, whether it's Michael Jordan, Oprah Winfrey, right? Your favorite athlete, your favorite artist, they have somebody that they're learning from, right? Because a mentor here, this is one thing that always stuck with me. He says, you can go spend a lifetime learning from your own mistakes, or you can spend a lunch learning from a mentor's mistakes. Which one would you rather have?
Let's go. Oh
So a
my God.
mentor,
This is
most
what
of
I
the
call,
time, have already
I'm
been
sorry.
through what you're looking to go through. They've already been through the emotions. They've already been through the actions. So if you can learn from their mistakes, you're going to save yourself a lot of time, energy, and money.
Oh my God. This is what I call liquid gold. When you get the time to learn from someone else's mistakes, this is liquid gold because it saves you time, saves you energy, it saves you, I mean, time, energy, that's it. That's the most important things in this life. So let me just check because time is, oh my God, 30 minutes have passed, bro. Oh, how?
Flew
I don't
by.
know. Oh my, and I'm ill, so guys, consistency. Uh, so bro, I asked questions to each and every one guests who come on this show. So simple questions, but very personal ones. So first of all, what's your favorite quote? Let's start small. What's your favorite quote?
It, it's the people that nobody imagined that ends up doing what nobody can imagine.
Oh, can you please repeat this?
It is the people that nobody imagined that ends up doing what nobody can imagine.
Oh my God, it's the first. Who said that? Who said? Is it you or
No, Bob
you?
Proctor.
Oh, rest in peace, brother. By the way, one of his book it was "You Were Born Rich," if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
I've read this along with the monk who stole his Ferrari. These were the two first books I've ever read in my life. So, next question. This is a deep one. We're all going to die. We were speaking of legacy of funeral. How many people you want to attend your funeral? So my question for you, Dylan, is how do you want to be remembered when you're gone?
I love it. Phenomenal question. So if you go back and you look at almost all of my Instagram posts, you're gonna see my tag is Impact 1 billion.
Yes.
Right? Because when I was 21 years old, I understood the power of a vision, right? Broke, busted, disgusted, and I told you it happens 3 times, right? So I applied
Yeah.
that at 21. I literally went to the store. I bought $1.99 composition book, and at 21, I wrote, "I'm so blessed and grateful now that I'm a millionaire by 25." It happened by 24. So when I was 26, I said, if I could stretch that big at 21, imagine what I could do now at 26. And the new goal became, I'm so blessed and grateful now that I've impacted 1 billion lives. So
Deep. Oh
for
my God.
me, when I tell you the gratitude, just like how I gave you the cup and you say thank you because it's already done, for myself, I say thank you because it's already done. Spiritually, now time just has to catch up for it to happen physically. So I believe my purpose, they say your purpose is for you, your gift is for others. So my purpose,
Oh,
I believe, is to be able to be the light, to be able to show others their highest version of themselves so they can step into that, to be able to go ahead and live their life by design.
oh my God. Bro, this was beautiful. We have some, we don't have questions, but we have someone who's saying, so let's read this before we will share where can people find you online. So King Sa Official is saying, just like I'm sitting here about to go to Florida to walk a stage to graduate, even my own mom called me stupid when I applied to college. Oh, that's tough. And now she won't even talk to me. Ooh, what's your take on that, bro? His mom doesn't want to talk to him because he's pursuing his dreams or his goals. What
So here's the story.
advice do you have?
Here's the story to go ahead and tie everything in all together, right? When I was all throughout my college journey,
Mhm.
I like to ask for help, right? I'm my type of person. I always thought I was self-made. I've always done things by myself. But as I got older, I realized that number one, nobody's self-made. You always had God. You always had a creator. You always had somebody helping you get to where it is that, whatever it is that you are that you got. But at the same time, here's what happened to me. I hadn't spoken to my father for 4 years, right? And when I graduated, I came across that Tony Robbins video, just like I told you, and I started to really think about my name and my mother's name. I called him up. And the first thing that I said was, how come you never told me? He said, told you what? I said, about my name. He said, oh, I've been waiting for you to figure that out.
Oh,
And
shit.
that was a pivotal moment for me because I realized I'm not just here to exist. I'm here to actually leave a serious impact. But it was funny though, because at the same time, at the beginning of my journey, when I first started trading and I first started getting into entrepreneurship, he couldn't even see what I saw. I got into real estate and I'd be in there trading. He'd be like, yo, get that out of here. I don't want to see it. You're wasting your time. So at the end of the day, for anybody watching, here's what I want you to know. Most of the time, your closest circle, they're not going to be able to see what you envision, what you see, what you feel. This is why for most, it takes strangers to celebrate you before your friends actually come back and support you, your family to support you. So you know what I did?
Yeah.
I went out and I went to work. I stopped talking and I just went out and I put the action. And I was driving a Hyundai Accent, a piece of trash car, had to open my door at the drive-through. And I came back one day with a foreign car that I bought straight cash right off the lot from trading. And I pulled up to the office
Let's
one
go.
day and I said, yo, come outside real quick. He's like, what? I'm like, real quick, just come outside. I got something I want to show you. And I said, you see that? That's mine. He's like, get out of here. I said, that was 90 days of me really going all in. Watch what I do the next 6 months to a year. So for anybody who doesn't believe in you, understand that fuel, that fire that gives you, go put that back in your vision. Go put that back in your passion. Get to work. And
Oh
let
my
your
God.
success speak for you.
Bro, wow. This was, I think, one of the most inspiring interviews I've had. Really. Oh, shit. So, bro, please, we've exceeded the time limit, so please share where can people find you online.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for everybody tuning in. Nothing but love, everybody. I'm sending light and joy into your lives. You guys can go ahead and find me, honestly, on any platform, just like you see me on here. Define Dreams. You can look me up on Google, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere. Define Dreams. You guys will be able to find me. Twitter, LinkedIn, and you guys see a lot of value. I'm pumping out content on all these different platforms, so you'll be able to go ahead and fill up your cup on any platform that you guys would like to go ahead and listen to.
That's amazing. So, bro, Dylan, oh my, I can't find words to express my gratitude right now. So thank you for your presence, for shining your light on this show on the pursuit of freedom. So happy Friday. I'm sure you're going to win this day. You're going to crush this day. And brother, let's meet soon in the US. I will come and meet you in person for sure. Take care, brother.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Peace.
It's already done. Feel me? There's my free gift to you guys. DefineDreams.com. Go ahead and get. I got 6 tips for you guys to go ahead and help yourself with some gratitude. I believe gratitude is one of the highest forms of emotion to be able to go ahead and live an abundant life. You cannot be grateful and hateful at the same time. So that is my free gift to all of you. Enjoy your day. Much love. Go out and be great. Let's make it happen.
Peace out, bro. Wow, 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 wow.